Smart. Yeah, right.
Yeah, because I usually don't.
No, just, not had the opportunity to see it, so I don't know if I don't spend that much time on
I just can't
the phone.
shake that.
Yeah.
I haven't eaten.
I just got
I went for a nice swim before.
Thank you.
Yeah, me and all you needed was, if you were there, we were nice one. You could have the meeting. You're super nice for your special events. Yes.
Steve says you're very meticulous on your wine making.
It was nice.
You have to be.
Steve's a very meticulous guy.
All right, if we can have the meeting come to order. This is the meeting of the Mayor and Council for Monday, July 2nd, 2012. It is now 8 p.m. I would like to begin with a moment of silent prayer or reflection. If Councilman Capola could lead us with the salute to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and attend any meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. The Mayor and Council of the Borough of River Edge have caused notice of this meeting to be published by having a date, time, and place posted in the Borough Hall, and notices were sent to the Record and the Ridgewood News. The mission of the governing body is to provide essential services through the establishment and implementation of public policy to safeguard our infrastructure, provide honest, courteous, and professional services, and establish a sense of trust with the citizens. Through research and prudent planning, we seek to minimize risks and improve our essential services. We are sensitive to the needs of the taxpayer while realizing that the governing body cannot be all things to all people within the revenue constraints imposed by state mandates, economic conditions, and prevailing attitudes about taxation. Denise, can I have a roll call?
Councilwoman Murphy?
Here.
Councilman Court? Councilman Capola?
Here.
Councilman Mignon?
Here.
Councilman Bartoloni?
Here.
Councilman Papalea? And Mayor Mascaratolo?
Here. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the Mayor and Council for the special meeting of June 18th, 2012?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstained? Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the work session and regular meeting of June 18th, 2012?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstained? Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the Mayor and Council for the work session of June 25th, 2012?
So moved.
Second.
Aye. I mean...
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstained? All right, tonight there are no proclamations or awards. We do have some appointments and personnel changes. First, we have the appointment of William Watkins, Peter Dunsey, and Trey Pluknicki to the Special Events Committee effective July 3rd, 2012. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstained? Can I have a motion to approve the separation of Deputy Dutta, Library Circulation Assistant, effective July 2nd, 2012?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed and abstained? Can I have a motion to approve the promotion of Rosemary Garcia from Library Page to Library Assistant from an hourly rate of $7.25 to $11 effective June 26, 2012?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstained? A motion to approve the salary increase of Francis Gallagher from Laborer 1 in the Department of Public Works from the annual salary of $49,915 to $50,562 due to a step increase from Laborer 1 Step 4 to Laborer 1 Step 5 effective July 5th, 2012.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And a motion to approve the appointment of Brian Koyman to the River Edge Volunteer Fire Department effective immediately.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstained?
He's here.
Mr. Koyman here. Okay.
Morning, I'm just coming to Mom and Dad.
Somebody can hold the Bible for him? Come right over here. Mom, you can stand in the middle. Dad. Correct. Put your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Brian Quinn,
Do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
I will bear true faith
I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the government
and to the government
established in the United States
that is established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
And I state your name.
And I, Brian Quinn,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all of the duties
all of the duties
of the office of River Edge Volunteer Firefighter
of the officer of the River Edge Volunteer Firefighter
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you.
Now we can take some money from get everybody else.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Take it easy. Yep.
All right, we have various correspondence that is listed in the agenda that's available for public for public viewing or to be copied. You can contact Denise Don Diego, the Borough Clerk. In addition, we have monthly reports on file from the Library Board for May 2012, from the Planning Board from April 2012, and from the Planning Board for May 2012. Tonight, we have no ordinances on for first reading, but we do have two ordinances on for second reading, public hearing, and final adoption. The first ordinance is ordinance number 1767. Denise, can you read the title of the ordinance?
The ordinance to fix the salary, wage, and compensation of officers and employees of the Borough of River Edge, the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, for the year 2012.
All right, this ordinance is on for a public hearing. This is the ordinance for the salary ranges for non-contractual employees. They do not include any of the labor unions that already have contracts. Can I have a motion to open the hearing to the public on ordinance number 1767?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, the public meeting is open for any member of the public who wishes to make a statement or a comment or ask a question regarding ordinance number 1767, establishing the salaries for non-contractual employees. Would anybody like to be heard? All right, seeing no one, can I have a motion to close the hearing of the public on ordinance number 1767?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, and can I have a motion for final adoption of ordinance number 1767?
So moved.
Second.
All right, can I have a roll call, Denise?
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Coppola?
Yes.
Councilman McMillan?
Yes.
Councilman Bartoloni?
Yes.
All right, and our final ordinance on today is ordinance number 1768. Again, this is an ordinance on for second reading. Denise, can you read the title of the ordinance?
Bond ordinance to authorize resurfacing of Howard Avenue from approximately 285 feet west of Kent Road to Bogart Road for general improvement and construction and reconstruction of sidewalks, curbs, from such sections of Island Avenue, the sidewalk improvement in by Ford Road, River Edge, and the county of Bergen State of Services to appropriate the sum of $152,000 for thereof, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds.
6. Wow. Ordinance number 1768 is the completion of the Howland Avenue improvements from just west of Kinderconnect Road up to Bogart Road. I think this is phase 6 or something like that of the plan, and we are adopting a bond so that we may continue with the improvement. Can I have a motion to open the hearing to the public on ordinance number 1768?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, the hearing of the public is open on bond ordinance 1768 and only bond ordinance 1768. Would anybody like to make a comment, ask a question, or make a statement regarding this particular ordinance? All right, seeing no one, can I have a motion to close the hearing of the public?
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion for the final adoption of ordinance number 1768?
So moved.
Second?
Can I have a roll call, Denise?
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Paula?
Yes.
Councilman McDonald?
Yes.
Councilman Bartoloni?
Yes.
All right, next on the agenda are resolutions. They may be by consent. We have resolutions 12-238 up to and including resolution 12-253. For the record, we'll reflect that in our work session, we amended resolution 12-247 to include some additional requested language regarding the historic Newbridge Landing. Would any member of the governing body wish to pull out for a separate discussion or vote any resolution on the agenda? Kathleen?
12-246.
Do you have a question, or you
I have a
just...
question.
Okay.
It says here that the water was turned off to that area in 2007. Do you know why that was turned off?
Same question that I had.
It was turned off because there was a break between the main and the watering system.
So it was never fixed?
It was never repaired, according to the superintendent of public works.
Was there ever a request to repair it?
Not that I know of.
According to what Alan told me, from the years 2007 onward, the DPW, because of an administrative error, was sending out a bill under a different account number to Virginia Quarterweg to pay for the water service, even though there was no water to the park.
Well, apparently they probably were never going to repair it if they removed the water meter.
Right. But she was billed.
Who authorized the water meter to be removed?
I don't know. The resolution is only on to refund
Okay, no, I'm fine
Virginia
with that.
Quarterweg.
I just had that question.
Do you still want to have a separate vote on
No.
it? Okay. All right, so can I have a motion by consent for resolutions 12-238, let's do 1238 up to and including 12-251.
So moved. Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Let's have the chairman of the Finance Committee, Councilman Mignon, do resolution 12-252, the payment of the bills.
Whereas vouchers for the payment of goods and services rendered to the Borough of River Edge have been received, and whereas each bill has been checked by the receiving department, approved by the Chief Financial Officer and Borough Clerk, and reviewed by the 3 members of the Finance Committee, now therefore be it resolved that bills as listed now be confirmed for payment from the appropriate funds as follows. Current account, $529,294.15. Capital account, $5,045.20. Recreation account, $11,292.77. Trust other account, $2,076.90. Open space account, $75.14. Trust other developers account, $2,312.50. Animal welfare account, $28. So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And finally, there's Resolution 12-253, authorizing a refund from the Recreation Dedicated Account. Can I have a motion on that?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstained? All right. I'd like a motion to open the hearing to the public.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the hearing is open to the public, or the meeting is open to the public for any member of the public to address any issue involving the borough of River Edge. All you have to do is stand up, give us your name and address. You could be heard. If you'd like to be seen on video, you can come forward and stand at the microphone.
Thank you, Mayor. It's just tonight with Brian coming in, just two comments. Tom Smith, 288 Manny Evans River. With Brian Clement coming in, just to make a note, that's the third member of their family that's now a member of the River Edge Fire Department. And River Edge is very, very fortunate to have that kind of a situation, but also in the last few months, as you know, this is at least the fourth new member that has joined the volunteer fire department. We have some communities in Bergen County that are now paying for daytime members. One community in particular is now paying $240,000 to 4 individuals, I believe, to man their fire stations during the daytime. So River Edge is very fortunate to have a dedicated group of volunteers throughout the community, both fire company, one company too. And we have the same case as well as with our ambulance service and so on. So this community has for over 100 years been served by the River Edge Volunteer Fire Department, and I think it'll probably continue for 100 years more. So I just wanted to put that on the record and I'm a member of the department, so I feel this personally, but I think it's important for the community to understand that they have over 60 volunteers, men and women, both protecting this town, and we got a lot more people than a lot of towns. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. That says a great... I do have to echo what you said, that you read article after article about volunteer fire companies that are losing membership, how they're staffed with older firefighters who are getting up in age, and they're not being replaced by younger members. And it's glad to see that that River Edge Volunteer Fire Department has broken the mold, kind of set an example for the rest of the county, or if not the state, as to the spirit of volunteerism that permeates our community, not just the fire department, but I say time and time again, we're a community that's run by volunteers, and this just proves the point once again. So thank you, Mr. Koyman, for volunteering. Third generation family firefighter. Congratulations. All right, anyone else who'd like...
Jane Delaney, 63 Bogart Road, and Sharon Smith, Nebraska, located 151 Jefferson Avenue.
Okay.
We're here to bring to light a problem in town with rats. I have gotten rats on my property, and I live at Bogart and Jefferson, and they're also have gone over onto my neighbor's property. I don't know what the source of this is. I have been in contact with both of us with the health department, and they have contacted Bergen Regional, and he's left a message. They haven't come out. He said he's going to come out. There is a property 2 houses down from us that is really overgrown. I don't know if it's come from there, but in my discussions with other people in town, it doesn't seem to be an isolated incident. on Greenway Terrace between Brookside and Elm. At least 6 houses have had problems with rats on their property and/or in their house. I have heard behind the shopping center where King Fung is, and those shopping centers there, that there have been rats in their dumpsters on Madison Avenue, the cul-de-sac there. There's houses there that have had problems with rats. Right back here between Continental and Tenny, the garages around here, I've also heard that there have been rat infestations. And up on Jefferson, 3 houses have had rats in their yards or in their house. I've seen the rats, and since I started this 10 days ago, I and my husband have been setting out traps. I have trapped 8 rats.
Really?
In my yard.
Wow.
And unfortunately, a giant one that was trapped got across the fence and into my neighbor's yard, and she found it. But if you come to see our properties are well maintained. We have nothing there that is drawing these rats. So that, and then Friday night, my husband was walking our dog around midnight, and on the intersection of Bogart and Madison, there was a party of rats roaming around the intersection. He saw them underneath the street lamp there.
Wow.
So this seems to me that it's not an isolated incident, and they are multiplying. And I wanted this to go on record because this is a town-wide problem now.
Have you, and you've contacted our Board of Health?
Yes, Board of Health, the young woman from the Board of Health came and inspected my property. She was very, very thorough. She was very supportive. She did not seem to think there was anything on my property. There was no vegetation. There were no plants or vegetables that would attract them. She did look over into my neighbor's yard who was not home, but did not seem to think there was any problem there also. But the rat that died in my backyard that unfortunately I found was a good-sized rat. This was not a little tiny, it was a rat. And so our concern is that if something isn't done by the Board of Health or the town, that this will just tend to increase and the infestation will get worse. From our discussions with other people, this doesn't seem to be an isolated problem. It seems to be something town-wide that people are rather reticent to discuss because of, sort of like the way of rats.
Sure.
But it is something that I think the town should be aware of. I believe also the church has an issue, the Congregational Church.
I believe so.
Did the woman from the Board of Health indicate any corrective action plan that they were going to take?
Well, she gave my name and number to Ted Wagner from Bergen Regional, and he left me a message. I did call her yesterday. He left me a message last week and said he will come and see if there are active burrows. Obviously, there are active burrows because I keep catching them every day. But I called her again today and said, please, you have to come, like last week.
Right.
Because, and they are, and I found them of various sizes, so they're multiplying. And I don't know how quickly they multiply, but it's...
When you said Bergen Regional, did you mean Mid-Bergen?
Mid-Bergen.
Mid-Bergen, okay. That's our contractor for the health department.
Where was the rat party?
That was on the corner of Bogart and Madison, right in the street. Well, I don't know, there's no major construction around us. There is, that shopping complex. The other thing is that other house that I mentioned, and other neighbors have also called the health department. The thing was it had to do with the grass, but it's totally overgrown. My other neighbor, painter, a few months ago, was hospitalized from the poison oak on the property that's coming over into neighboring yards. So I don't know. I know they also grow in ivy, so I don't know if it's just so overgrown there that they're, if that's...
Can you let us have the address? Can you give us the address of that overgrown property?
I don't know the exact number.
Okay.
You said it's 2 from you?
Yeah, it's
Bogart Road, it's a green stucco house.
On 653, so
On the
it
west
might
side.
be 640 something. It's green, it's covered in ivy.
Mayor.
In between Jefferson and
Yes.
Yeah, it's noteworthy. Dumont Board of Health just mailed out to all homeowners a letter stating just that there's an infestation of rats in Dumont. And that was just mailed out 3 days ago, to all residents and homeowners. So they have a major problem in Dumont. And also, that's a fact. I've also had friends of mine in Waldwick, just off hearsay about they had rat problems, but Dumont so serious that they just mailed out letters to all homeowners.
And the young lady from the health department did tell me that it is a very widespread problem in New Milford. She said in the past 3 weeks she has had calls in River Edge, but it has been a very, very widespread problem in New Milford.
Okay. It sounds like there has to be some coordinated effort to get this, eradicate this problem.
And we started asking around, and I think that's the problem, is that people were like, oh, I have rats, but I wouldn't tell anyone. But I know the way I live, that I'm not drawing rats there. These are coming from somewhere, and it's going to turn into a major hazard, yeah.
Yeah, it's a health issue. All right. Well, thank you for bringing this up. Our
Just a question.
attention.
Are you finding then the people you've talked to, it's concentrated a little around the path area? The walk?
No, it was further up on Jefferson between 5th and Elm, so that's really not near that path.
Oh, which,
Because there's a lot of sewer lines
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
You're not finding it's maybe a higher concentration?
No, it was between 5th and Elm, so that's beyond that dirt path, that dirt road.
All right. Thank you very much.
There's the creek too.
Anybody else wishes to be heard?
No.
Mr. Carroll?
Everything else
And then you, sir.
321 Wales Avenue, northwest corner of Lincoln and Kinderkamack, on Kinderkamack. Apparently, years ago, we put fake bricks out along the roadway. 3/4 of them are up, and the other quarter are there. And my daughter mentioned the other day the car in front of her, coming south on Kinderkamack Road, lost control of the car as they were going over the bricks. No accident or anything, but I think it's something that we really should look at because it's a nuisance driving over it. So,
We've,
right on the northwest corner.
We were aware of that some months ago, and we contacted the contractor who was awarded that job, and Alan can give us an update as to there was a determination that we should just get rid of the decorative bricks and put asphalt back down there.
Yeah, there was an option to replace it with a new product, or the option of just milling out what's there, putting macadam down and just striping it, where, we know we won't have too many problems with that. So it was left in the hands of the borough engineer at that point. We provided him with some direction, but nothing has happened to this point in time. But we'll send a reminder to the borough engineer and see if he can make arrangements to have it corrected now.
Kathleen?
There's no recourse with the person that installed it to install it correctly?
I haven't been out there to really do a close inspection. It doesn't seem like it's a deep set brick. It seems like it's a thin decorative.
It's not a paver.
Yeah,
It's not like a paver.
a thin decorative brick, and because of the heavy traffic we have, the volume of traffic, it just loosened up, and they're just loose and all over the place. Missing. Alan?
Yeah, I believe the engineer had both the contractor and the firm that provided the crosswalk striping or whatever out there at that time. I think they were willing to address it, but Mr. Costa will have to report on that.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Carroll. And there was a gentleman back here.
My name is Dennis Fiedler. I'm at 725 8th Avenue. I'd like to talk about property taxes and have your input on there so that I understand a little bit more. I got hit very hard just recently, and I'd like to know what's being done by River Edge to reduce my property taxes and everybody's property taxes, and what I can do also to reduce them. Is there something that I can do? Can I volunteer? and I spent some of my time and energy, rather than just my money, on reducing that property tax.
We have for your individual property taxes, there was a tax appeal period.
I understand that. There's not, that's being taken
Okay.
care of. I'm looking for answers as far as increasing revenue and reducing costs. And I believe that would reduce my property taxes as it would reduce everyone's property taxes.
Well, one of the things that you may want to volunteer for is every year we sit down from late November, early December until the end of March, and we work on our municipal budget. And we have a citizens budget committee that works alongside the mayor and council in going over budgets for every department, the DPW, the police, the fire department, the health department, the clerk's office. And if you'd like to volunteer on the Citizens Budget Committee, then you can get a first-hand look at what we're doing to control our debt service, to control our capital expenditures, to control our office expenses and our salary and wages. That's what you can do on the budgetary side. In addition, we're trying through prudent planning on getting some development in town, commercial development, in order to increase our ratables so that the single-family homeowners can get a reduction in their tax rate.
I thank you for that, but can you be specific as to what ratables you're looking for?
We're looking for the Ciancia brothers to begin construction at the former Huffman Coos property at the south end of town. We're looking for them to do that. If they have plans that have been approved to put 2 new buildings on their property there and to expand the tenant, the Total Wine store, to put them in a bigger store and to move other tenants into that property. That's one area where we're trying to increase ratables. We have approved a 46-unit condominium complex on Kinderkamak Road already. That's been approved. Hopefully, they're going to begin construction, which would increase some ratables for us. We have a redevelopment plan that was submitted to us through New Jersey Transit for redevelopment of the area around the train station at the south end of town, which we're also working to see if we can come to some agreement with the developer as to what that development is going to look like. Those are some of the things that we have on the drawing board. But these things are long-term projects. Nothing that I can come out and say that the shovel's going to be put into the ground and at the end of the month or anything like that.
So you don't have any time frame at all within a year that some of these will take place?
I don't have a time frame. I can't give you a time frame. I just know that we've done all we can by approving these projects, by approving them. The mayor and council has made zoning changes to make the town more attractive for development. Our planning board has approved projects that have been, where the applicants have filed plans. We're willing to look at any type of responsible development.
And one last thing, the assessments, that's what the individual has to appeal to. But there's a couple of items that were put out there, like a bond that's being ready to be floated here today, and other pension deferrals. I don't understand that, and I don't need an explanation right now, but I'd like to know if it's all possible that the rate, not the assessment, but the rate may go down after that's satisfied.
It's anything's possible. Anything's possible.
Is that it?
Our debt service is relatively constant. We make payments every year towards our debt service, and then every year in our capital improvement budget, we bond some money so that we can pave a couple of streets, we can fill a couple of potholes, we can fix a couple of sewer and some drainage problems. We're very, very cost conscious of when we do that. Our debt service has not risen, but it's pretty much level and constant.
All right, so then as an individual, if I'm telling you that it's going to be harder for me to afford to stay in this town, just pay property taxes as everybody does, utilities as everybody does, insurance, just like the town does, what are you telling us? What are you telling me?
I'm telling you that we're doing our best with the budget that we have. This year's budget, I may be quoted, but I'm pretty sure that our budget this year was $380,000, and Alan can correct me if I'm wrong, less than last year. Our budget was down.
That's terrific, but my property tax is up 19%.
Well, because revenue...
I'm telling you that I can't afford it.
I know.
What are you telling me?
Revenue went down
You're
also.
telling people that can't afford to stay and pay that.
I don't have an answer for you.
Can I make a comment as well?
Go ahead. Give us your name and address.
Okay, my name is Nigel Langley, and I'm 418 Oak Avenue. My property taxes went up 35%. I don't understand why there should be a cap of 2% in New Jersey, and why we're at 3.1%. Can you justify that? How can you justify an increase of 35%?
My taxes went up 40% this year.
40?
40%. I filed a tax appeal.
So this is what?
I don't know, because the decisions on my tax appeal have not been made yet. I'm still awaiting the county tax board's decision, but my taxes went up 40%. Alan?
Mayor, technically, it's a 2% cap, but there are exceptions in the law which allow increases for pension, health cost increases. There are a few other exceptions that drive that 2% higher legally. So while they like to talk about a 2% cap, it's a 2% cap plus some exceptions.
Well, it's 50% high. You've got 3.1% cap. So I just don't understand how you can justify that. So what's the mechanism of challenging that? Can we challenge them?
Challenge the rate?
3.1.
You can't challenge the rate. The rate is, there's a 2% cap, and then, as our borough administrator explained, there are exceptions to the state cap for certain items which we can't negotiate, that have to do with collective bargaining agreements and health benefits and things like that. There are exceptions from the
Can I
cap.
make a comment on there? I understand where he's coming from.
Sorry, we need name and address again if you're going to speak, please. Name and address, please.
Dennis Fiedler, 725 8th Avenue. I understand where you're coming from, and I understand where most of the people in town are coming from. We need the money to run the town of River Edge. That's a definite sum. You made the budget, you can't do anything about that. You need that money. What I'm asking, is there anything that we can do, as this fine gentleman did and volunteered for a fireman? Is there anything that we can do as citizens to help defray those costs? I volunteer ever since I've been here. A lot of people know me from sports in this town. But there's other people that can do other things. I'm ready to volunteer to do something to help defray those costs, and I bet there's quite a few others that will do the same thing. If there are, let us know and show us that we can defray those costs.
Thank you, Mr. Fiedler.
This is just to address Mr. Fiedler's wanting to volunteer. Assemblywoman Connie Wagner, Assemblyman Tim Eustace, and Senator Bob Gordon have put together a think tank of citizens willing to help try to come up with answers of how to reduce New Jersey's taxes. So if you'd like to meet me afterward, I'll take your email information and I'll submit it to them. They already have a few River Edge residents that are meeting.
Here, let me give you an example of something that we're trying to do, because there are so many little communities in this part of Bergen County that can benefit by what are called shared services. And River Edge is proactive in that we have a shared services committee. And we're available to go and speak to our neighbors in Oradell or in New Milford or in Paramus and see if there's any way that we can cut costs by sharing services. We contacted New Milford and we said our shared services committee would like to meet with you to discuss how we can cut some costs. Maybe we could share a truck, maybe we could share a sewer cleaning machine, maybe we could share some other big piece of equipment. New Milford said, gee, we don't even have a shared services committee. How can we meet with you? That was one response. We did meet probably a month ago or a month and a half ago with Oradell. Me and Council President Courts, Councilman Bartolone, we sat down with the Oradell mayor and their council president. We discussed shared services involving the DPW and our building department. We came up with some ideas and we left the door open for further discussions. We came back. I directed our borough administrator to write a follow-up letter to their administrator requesting information so that we could move forward with some ideas for shared services, requesting some information, some background information. That was a month and a half ago. We haven't received anything yet.
So it's a good idea that it's not going to...
So we have lots of good ideas, but we have to get other towns to have like minds and cooperate so that we can begin to reduce the costs of duplicating so many services amongst these towns here.
Is there anything being discussed about shared school districts? Combined school districts?
We already do. In 2 weeks, we have a court case in Newark before an administrative law judge where Oradell is suing River Edge to try to de-regionalize our Riverdale School District. So that's going to take up two days of mine in order to attend the hearings and probably testify in that case. And if we lose, our taxes are going to probably go up on the average of about $1,000 a household. I'm fairly confident that that's not going to be the case, that the school district is going to remain regionalized and not be broken up. But your question was, has there been any discussion of regionalizing or consolidating the school districts? That's the last thing that Oradell wants to talk to us about. is further regionalization.
But that's it. That's as part of the school district.
Yeah.
Shared services.
But Mr. Fiedler, these are all great questions that you're asking. They're all great questions.
Well, maybe I can volunteer to be a liaison. You guys don't have to butt your head up.
Anybody else? Yes.
Jean Celine, 53 Woodward. I just wanted to comment about the taxes, because it's, during the reassessment, our assessment did go down, but because rate that brought it up. And I didn't challenge the assessment I did 5 years ago when they had the reassessment, and it was basically a joke. But it's really the rate, and I don't see at this rate how people can afford to even stay here. So I'm projecting, like, is there anything, there's nothing that we can do about the rate of the taxes? Because that's also decreasing property value, because people are having trouble selling their homes, not because of the prices of it, but because of the taxes. And people don't want to buy a home and have to pay $30,000 for taxes.
The only way to decrease the tax rate in a responsible manner is to increase our revenue. The only way to increase our revenue is by attracting commercial development in areas of town that are in need of development or redevelopment. If we do that, if we change some of our more restrictive zoning ordinances and codes, and we've hired a redevelopment attorney. This council is proactive, and we've been proactive in a pretty bipartisan manner. We've hired a redevelopment attorney. We've hired a planner, right? We've hired a planner, and we're trying to move forward. We're trying to move forward. And if we increase commercial revenue, then the tax rate should fall.
And there's nowhere with the budget yet we can tighten.
We have. On that side, we've negotiated new contract with the DPW and with the police, where we've increased the number of steps on the police up to 20 steps. A new patrolman now is making before benefits, the salary is about $28,000. So every time now we're having sergeants and higher retiring at $130,000, $140,000, we're able to replace them with 2 people at probably $80,000 when you throw the benefits in. These are longer term planning. That's we're not going to see benefits for a few years until the turnover takes over. Same with the governor's implementation of the health benefits cost sharing. That's phased in also. So as that goes forward, we hope that the salary side of the budget comes down also. But these are longer term plans. So that in conjunction with increasing the revenues, we are bringing the tax rate down compared to where it was, say, 3 years ago when tax increase was over 10%. Last year, or the year before, we had to come down around 8%. We paid off a $450,000 pension deferral. This year, we were at 4-point-something. So we are we are trying to bring the tax rate and the overall tax rate under control, and that's just taking time. But these are longer-term cost controls that will take more time to benefit. So we are working on both sides of the equation.
Thank you. Mr. Fiedler.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you this question. It's only $28,000 for a new police officer?
Correct.
At this point, after 5 years, what's the salary?
It's about 30-something. You don't get to about the 100,000 mark to about year 16 or 17 now.
16 now?
Yeah. But we can provide you with the new step chart, but it's a longer term benefit, but it's something we're starting to see results for because we've had some turnover in the police department already.
Mr. Carroll.
Neil Carroll, 321 Wales Avenue. My favorite topic, the East Coast is dark tonight, and the storm only got as far as Atlantic County and knocked out 180,000 people. Where do we stand with the generator for the Borough Hall and the police station?
I'm proud to say that we did receive bids back. I think we received how many bids? 5 bids? 4 bids. And when are we going to award the bid?
I'd like to have it discussed at the next work session. Gives everybody time to analyze the bids. And then the next public meeting would be August 6th if the council approve one of the vendors for an award.
So we can approve the bid in August. First meeting in August. Right at the beginning of hurricane season, right? Anybody else? All right, I want to thank members of the public that spoke. I like the questions. They're very informative. It shows... God bless you. It shows that there's some very intelligent people in the audience that really have a stake in the outcome of what's happening with their community, and just keep asking us those hard questions, because we have to come up with good answers. Thank you, Mr. Fiedler. All right, can I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Would anybody like to make a council comment, beginning with Kathleen Murphy?
No comment.
Mr. Cavola?
Yes, just as it pertains to the assessments. We all live here too, and just to reiterate what you said, Mayor, things take time, and this is an aggressive council that's doing the best they can. So we should keep pushing forward, and we're all under the gun in one way or another in terms of the taxes here.
Ed?
I was just going to congratulate Brian, but he walked out, and thank his family for their service. Just let them know that we appreciate it. Tom can relay the message. Thank you.
Al?
Thank you, Mayor. Just some of the things, talking about the taxes and what you can do or you can't do. And what we talked about, the town has been struggling on the revenue side for some time, and that's why you've seen your tax increases largely recently, at least on the municipal portion. But this town in 2007 was at a historic high in their budget of $14.7 million, give or take. This year was about $14.2 million. So 5 years later, you're $500,000, $500,000 less in spending than you were, 5 years ago. I don't know too many government bodies that are spending less now than they spent 5 years ago. If the federal government was doing that, there wouldn't be a deficit that we're talking about. So, we are trying very hard to rein in costs. What Councilman Mignon said is true for DPW and the police in terms of the contracts. DPW and the police, I think those salaries are almost half of the municipal budget. So that is a huge thing that will pay dividends in the coming years. In terms of what else can you do, Tom left, but I heard him say for years, the municipal portion of your taxes is only 25%. It's still true. Roughly 2/3 of your taxes are the schools. If there's one thing you want to do, and it's great that our senator and assembly people are having, these think tank sessions, but what they can do is push for fair funding so that we get we get monies back for our schools from the state in the amount that we should be getting. And if we got what we were supposed to be getting in terms of state aid, you would see a huge reduction in your property taxes. But the state does not send money to suburban districts. Most of the money goes to urban districts at the expense of the suburban towns. So if there's one thing you can do is push your assembly people and your senators to fairly fund our schools and make sure we get the state aid that we deserve.
All right, my final comments are that I hope everyone enjoys the music in the park tomorrow night. I hope everyone comes out to the 4th of July on Wednesday. And I agree with the comments that I heard from the dais here, particularly the comments of Councilman Bartoloni, that if schools received the $1.8 million that was taken away a couple of years ago, then all of our taxes would be lower. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We were adjourned.
It's 9 o'clock. Look at closed session.
Shoot. Right, we have to go to closed session.
I was so ready to walk out.